Singer, who will lead in the upcoming presentations. We look forward to your high, insightful guidance and expertise. Let us now begin the session. Special notices. You are given 15 minutes for your presentation, followed by a 5 minutes Q&A session. Our first presenter is Mr. U.A. Dhanusha Premaratna. It's a group presentation. RSSW Arachi from Division of Management Studies, University College of Ramayana, University of Vocational Technology, Department of Tourism Studies, Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka. The topic is Limitations to promote Sri Lankan cultural performing arts as cultural tourism product in Sri Lankan Ramayana tourism. Here for you.
Very good morning, you all. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to University of Visual and Performing Art. My subject area is Tourism and Cultural Resource Management. Therefore, I am really happy to present such kind of research area in front of this panel. I am Dhanusha Premaratna from University College of Ramayana. I am working as a senior lecturer in Travel and Tourism Management. This is my research regarding limitation to promote Sri Lankan cultural performing art as cultural tourism product in Sri Lankan Ramayana tourism. This is my content. Well, with the viewpoint of tourism, tourism is a mass umbrella. Under the mass umbrella of tourism, there is a specific category known as cultural tourism. And cultural tourism we can divide into many areas like cultural heritage management, then intangible heritage tourism, tangible tourism, then religious tourism. Religious tourism is one of very niche tourism product worldwide. Then visiting places related to Lord Rama and the epic hero of Valmiki's Ramayana. That is the major concern of Ramayana tourism. It is especially we can see Ramayana tourism countries like India and Sri Lanka, as well as it is popular tourism concept countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Laos. We can see Ramayana tourism. As according to Valmiki's Ramayana epic, India and Sri Lanka, those are directly linked countries, two countries with Ramayana epic, because Ramayana is the India is the home country for the main epic characters of Ramayana, Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana and Hanuman, and Sri Lanka is the country for Ravana and Vibhishana's land. Therefore, both of those countries are directly linked with Ramayana tourism. Therefore, there are more than nearly 40 significant attractions with the viewpoint of tourism. Those are sites. They are directly linked with Ramayana Trail from 2004. Now there's a history of 20 years. Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority has officially launched Ramayana tourism promotions to grab specific Hindu tourists to attract Ramayana tourism in Sri Lanka. Those are the key literature findings related to cultural performances. Sri Lanka has distinctive significance on Ramayana tourism concept since it was land of two principal characters, as I mentioned, Ravana and Vibhishana, as well as Ramayana is one of very popular concept in Thailand also. In the Thailand context, they have Rama King. With the viewpoint of Hinduism, Hinduism and performance arts, cultural preference cannot be separated, because according to the Hindu concept, worshipping gods with fulfill heart, with good thoughts, good attitude, that is one of very essential thing in Hinduism. Therefore, they are focusing on cultural performance art during their worshipping. Therefore, cultural performance arts are very common thing in Hinduism, as well as with the viewpoint of tourism. There are many cultural attractions, tourist attractions to promote Ramayana tourism, as well as there is a high possibility to promote cultural performance arts in between Indian tourists. That is the major thing I have identified. What are the cultural performances suitable to promote Ramayana tourism in Sri Lanka, and what are the difficulties and limitations to adapt cultural performances while implementing Ramayana tourism in Sri Lanka. Therefore, those are my two research objectives. This research conduct to identify suitable cultural performances to promote Ramayana tourism as a cultural tourism product in Sri Lanka as well as in Asian context, and second objective to understand limitation to promoting Ramayana cultural tourism performing arts as cultural tourism product in Sri Lankan Ramayana tourism. This study adapted the qualitative research approach because majority of findings should be I have to identify through qualitative factors, experiences, thoughts and values given by relevant stakeholders. By considering Sri Lankan Ramayana tourism as a single case study research device was adapted. Data collection has been done with 21 semi-structured interviews by interviewing tourism stakeholders including tour operators, travel agents and subject experts on Ramayana tourism. I adopted snowball sampling technology to identify most suitable tour operators and expertise who are promoting Ramayana tourism and actively contributing on Ramayana tour preparation in Sri Lanka. Data analysis was done under content analysis method under inductive analysis. Those are three main codes I have identified: existing cultural performances of Sri Lanka, and issues and limitations of promoting cultural performing arts in Sri Lanka with Ramayana tourism, and suggestions for new improvements. Yes, now those are my key research findings. First of all, here I have mentioned what are the existing and potential tourist market for Ramayana tourism in Sri Lanka. According to the data as well as statistical data and findings from my primary data collection, those are existing geographical markets for Ramayana tourism in Sri Lanka. The main one, India. When we consider about India, there are some key geographical areas: Bangalore, New Delhi, Agra, Chennai, Pune, Mumbai, Kerala, Kolkata and Gujarat. Especially Kenya, Kerala and Chennai, they have a specific requirement for cultural tourism and cultural based performances in Sri Lanka and Singapore, Malaysia. Furthermore, the respondent mentioned that there are some potential tourist markets from South Africa, United Kingdom, United States of America, Germany and France. And they have especially mentioned that UK, Germany and France, those tourists are especially interested on cultural tourism attractions in Sri Lanka. Furthermore, they mentioned the high-end Hindu market in above countries have and the youth tourist market are the potential markets for Ramayana tourism in Sri Lanka. And those are the existing Ramayana tour package types in Sri Lanka. Generally, Sri Lankan tour operators offer maximum 10 days tour packages as well as 7 days tour packages to visit Ramayana tourism attractions in Sri Lanka. Majority of them, they are providing tailor-made tour package. That means they are not regular tour packages. As per the requirement of tourists, they can customize what are the places to be visited. And this is regarding significant cultural performances and experiences they are including in Ramayana tourism packages. Majority of respondents, I mean tour operators and travel agencies mentioned that they are including religious activities based on performances, including puja chanting, especially in Sita Amman temple, Sri Bhakta Hanuman temple and Gayatri Peedam as performing activities related to Ramayana tourism, but those are not specially prepared cultural performances. Those are existing puja chanting activities. Those people, they visit Kovila when there are puja is happening, then they let the tourists to enjoy that puja chanting activity. This is no particular performance. This what is happening in the Kovil, they just visit that. Then cultural events and festival, 4 respondents mentioned that they allow and they arrange specific items including Kandyan dancing and other Sri Lankan dancing pattern in front of tourists. Then folk arts including temple frescoes, folk stories related to Sita captivative places and Hanuman, as well as rituals and tradition worship, god worshipping patterns in Sri Lanka, especially they highlighting god worshipping under Navagamu Patini Devalaya and Saman Devalaya, and what are the native god worship patterns in Sri Lanka, and other things, Ramayana cultural shows and DJ nights. Especially they are mentioned Ramayana cultural show means some creative dancing items performed by some local people they introduce and include in tour packages. According to the findings, no more existing cultural performances or innovative performances provided by Sri Lankan tourism stakeholders in Sri Lankan Ramayana tourism packages. Here there is a comparison, implementation of cultural performing arts in competitive tourism destinations. As I previously mentioned, there are many competitive countries, tourism destinations including Thailand, Indonesia and Cambodia. They are also promoting Ramayana tourism in Sri Lanka, but we cannot forget that Sri Lanka has very direct relationship with Valmiki's Ramayana as well as with the, when we consider of Ramayana tourism attractions, I mean places, Sri Lanka has more than 40 sites of Ramayana attractions, but when we consider Thailand, they have less than 5 attractions, 5 places to visit in Thailand, but they have innovated very nice cultural performances. Here I have listed something, traditional cultural performances, corn arts, picture number 1, as well as traditional shadow puppet show which distinguish Rama Ravana's story, as well as Hanuman meet 7 hero movie, that is animated movie, as well as Ramayana ballad from Indonesia. Those are some creative innovations done in other competitive countries. Even Sri Lanka, we have nearly 40 sites of Ramayana tourism and very high demanded from Indian tourism market. According to the finding, recently tour operators have not taken any action to develop any cultural performances to promote Ramayana tourism in Sri Lanka. Then those are the potential cultural performances for Ramayana tourism package in Sri Lanka. As per the comments given by respondent during personal communication, they highlighted Hanuma Vannama and Hanuma dancing to show as a specific cultural performance to Indian tourist market, because Hanuman is one of epic hero in Ramayana tourism, as well as Angampura performances as they mentioned that is one of battle system and battle art coming from Ravana's generation. With that link, we can introduce Angampora for Indian tourists, as well as Pattini dance and Gammadu Puja. They mention they can be promoted for Indian and Hindu tourists. They specify Pattini dance because they link with Sita Devi, because Sita Devi has it is a symbolize of chastity and purity, as well as in Sri Lankan context we worship Pattini. Therefore, we can introduce Pattini dance and Pattini traditions and ritual as cultural tourism part of Ramayana tourism. Meantime, in year 2018, Ravana, the Untold Legend Battle Opera introduced by Bhadraji Mahinda Jayalathilaka, but this ballad also not introduced and not linked with existing Ramayana tourism packages in Sri Lanka. Therefore, there are the key issues and limitations of performing arts in Sri Lankan Ramayana tourism. Here there are key issues: lack of participation of stakeholders, including expert person in cultural performing art with tourism activity. Actually, this is one of very key issue in promoting Ramayana tourism activities. Lack of contribution of stakeholders, including government sectors, including Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, travel agencies, tour operators, as well as other governmental sectors, and expertise on visual and performing arts. There is no directly linked with Ramayana tourism promotional activities, as well as lack of awareness of travel agents and tour operators regarding performing arts related to Ramayana tourism, as well as during the interviews, respondent mentioned that they don't have clear idea what are the direct significance for Ramayana tourism. Lack of innovation and cultural performances related to Ramayana legend and language difficulties create communication barriers. As well as those are the key issues. Communication struggles when we are innovating new Ramayana tourism cultural performances, especially with the viewpoint of Indian tourists. Their epic hero is Rama, Lakshmana and Hanuman, but in the Sri Lankan context, the epic hero is Ravana. When we communicate with our cultural performances, when we highlight the character of Ravana, it can be a communicational barrier and communicational struggle for Indian tourism market. But some tour operators mentioned that there are some Indian tour operators, there are some Indian tourists, they interesting on Ravana's character and they are interested to study who is Ravana, what is the real character of Ravana. Then we can introduce Ravana's character by creative performing arts. Those are the key limitations. Limited time duration of tour packages. Sri Lankan tour operators maximum 10 days and 7-day tour packages. Including this time period, they cannot implement such kind of cultural tour packages, as well as limited religious value, limited budgetary requirement from Indian market, as well as limited visitor infrastructure facilities in Ramayana tourism side, limited innovations in technology. Those are the key recommendations. Recognize entire value of Ramayana trail with Valmiki's Ramayana and Rama Ravana legend in Sri Lanka. Encourage stakeholders to invent new attractive cultural performance to fulfill tourist, religious and entertainment needs, adapting modern smart technology as promotional tools to develop cultural performance arts among tourists. Innovate short performing arts by emphasizing local folk roles, especially those are the main attraction of Ramayana tourism in Sri Lanka. In red color you can see location related to Ravana folk roles, green color Hanuman. Right, we can introduce some creative folk role based drama and performances to grab this market. This is my conclusion and this is my acknowledgement, and thank you very much.
Okay, so Anusha, so thank you for your presentation. I think the topic you have selected in terms of the Ramayana tourism is, I think, a very timely topic because there is some tourist influx, and especially from our nearest neighbor. So I think you have addressed some issue which has a very relevance. So I appreciate the timeliness of your research and relevance. So in terms of the recommendations, in terms of implementation, who do you think would be the main focus? Who you could, for example, your research might be, you can forward this to which entities for improvement perspective?
This improvement I can forward to a specific person who are innovating cultural performances They are open to develop some creative dramas and short-term performing arts to grab particular stories here. Especially I have mentioned regional-wise we can promote some specific cases, especially for example this is Nuwara Eliya, there are many cultural attractions related to Ramayana, Sita captivation in Ashokavatika, then Sita Amman temple, then Hanuman set fire Nuwara Eliya, then Sita Agni Pariksha in Velimada Diurumkola. Such kind of small activities, small moments, we can create some creative new innovations in this small ballot and some things. Then we can present at the real place, real attraction. Then tourists can feel what is the real value with that cultural performances.
It's also good to see in your last slide reference to ICT as well in terms of the from perspective of you mentioned somewhere I think the use of ICT
Yes, sir.
as well. That is also very nice. Yes. Thank you, sir.
I think again, as sir mentioned, it's a very nice presentation. I wanted to ask you from I think you mentioned that in the data collection you use snowballing techniques as a sample data. I think why especially selected that technique compared to this area?
Well, sir, first of all, I visited Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority to identify who are the relevant travel agencies and operators who are catering to Indian tourist market. Then I observe particular travel agent list. Then when I contact them, majority of them mention I'm not entertained in Ramayana tourism, I'm not entertained in Indian tourist market. Then I have to cut off many travel agencies. Then again I ask, if you are promoting Ramayana tourism, can you suggest me some who are the other travel agencies and other key persons who are promoting Ramayana tourism? With that contact, I follow them. That's why I adopted small journalism.
Other than that, when because tourism studies industry is one of the important area in Sri Lanka also, you specially selected the Ramayana tourism. Is there any specific reason to select that?
Yes, sir. Specific reason is from 2019 to present, India is the highest tourist market for Sri Lanka. If you want to grab the Indian tourist market, this is the most suitable icon, as well as the neighbor country, as well as Valmiki's directly mentioned what is the relationship of Ramayana legend and Sri Lanka. This is one of very ideal catchy point.
So I would like to welcome anyone in the audience to ask any questions. Okay, so in the absence of questions from the audience, we like to thank our presenter, Mr. Dharusha Premara from Division of Clinical Studies, University College of Ratnamani, Vocational Technology.